This is a comparison that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that is between the 37 D-28 Authentic and the 41 D-28 Authentic. And I finally got my hands on a 41, and this one is probably going to be the new shop guitar of 2019. You know, every year I try to get a guitar for the shop because it's a business expense. And, you know, I've used the 37 lots and lots and lots and lots of videos as kind of my standard for comparison. And there's times when the 41 might be a better comparison. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to get my hands on a 41. This is the first one that I have actually ever seen. And I asked around looking for one, got one, and it's interesting, you know. Let's get it here. D-28, 1941, Authentic. The difference between it and the 37, of course, if you don't know this, a lot of you, I just know more about this than I do. The main difference is moving down the headstock here. It's got the 1 11/16 neck as opposed to the 1 3/4 on the 37. Likewise, the bridge spacing is 2 1/8 as opposed to 2 5/16. The big important difference on the sound is that the X bracing, the X crossing on the 41 is further back from the sound hole. So the 37 crosses at 1 inch right here, and the 41 crosses at about 1.5 inches. Let's see about that. I haven't stuck my finger in it yet. But, oh wow, gosh, it's way back there. It's like closer to 2 inches back. It's more like a 50s, I think. But you know, I'm going to assume their spec is correct. But wow, that's way back there. I couldn't even reach it with my pinky. The 37 crosses right here on my pinky, and the 41 crosses clear back here. So the X is way back here, and that gives it a much, I'm going to leave that to you. It gives it a different tone because of where the bridge is supported and that sort of thing. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, you know that I complain all the time about the neck on the 37. The neck on the 37 starts really super narrow at the nut and then goes boom into a big taper. So that by the time you get up to here, it's just this massive taper. And it's not bad if I shift. If I go to here and play a little bit, and go to here and play a little bit, and then go to here. But if you try to do anything that moves, your hand goes like this, you see? And it's a funny feel to me. It's hard for me to get comfortable on it. If you put the capo at the 2nd fret, then you're kind of into the fat part of the neck and it's not so bad. The 41, on the other hand, has a nice taper. It's a very even taper, and it's got a mild rounded V. To me, it feels very, very much like a D18V neck. It's got that sort of thing. Now, what I was surprised at is I generally do better on a 1 3/4 inch neck. The 11/16s always feel a little bit cramped to me. I was very surprised at how comfortable and immediately comfortable this neck is for me. I had a 1939 D18 Authentic, which is the narrow neck version, And every time I picked that guitar up, it felt narrow and cramped to me. One day, I had a 70s D-18 here, and I thought, man, the 70s is so comfortable. And so I got my calipers out and I measured them, and much to my surprise, I found out that the 39 Authentic and the 70s D-18 were exactly the same width. I measured at the 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 9th frets. They were exactly the same width, exactly the same depth. And I thought, that's crazy. They feel so much different. I'm immediately comfortable on the 70s, and I cannot get comfortable on this 39. The reason, though, I think the only variation between the two of them that I could find was the shape at the back of the neck. And the 70s had a slight V, had a nice little V going on right there. Not a sharp V, you know, not a V like this, but a nice rounded, ovalish V. Whereas the 39 D-18 had a C-shaped neck, and I mean C-shaped. And I think that made the difference on it. When I pick up this guitar, I feel very comfortable on it, and guess what it has? It's got a rounded V neck to it. Nice V, all the way up and down, a very consistent V. So my thumb goes up and down the neck in a very consistent place. Whereas on the 37, as it gets up here in the neck, it's chunky, you know. Anyway, I think that's why I felt comfortable on this guitar, even though it has a narrow neck. Now, I've got a 65 D-21 over there that's a shop guitar, and when I pick it up, it always feels narrow to me, just a little narrow, compared to a 72 D-18 that I have over there that's just like perfect, you know. So I got the 65 D-21, and I got this guitar, and I caliper the necks. And I tell you, I was amazed to find out that the Authentic is narrower than the 65 D-21. It's narrower this way. And I thought, golly, I would not have said that it was narrower going by the feel. But I've got the numbers up here on the board here. And I don't know if you can see them on the camera, it doesn't matter. But the D-21 is 925 at the first fret. And I measure with the strings and the frets and everything. I just push the strings down here and I measure that effective feel, you know, because I know that's not the actual depth of the neck, but that's the effective feel in my hand from the string, the fret, the neck, everything. And they both have good frets on them, you know, so the fret's not a major factor on this. This D-28 is 0867. The D-21 is 0925. So 25, 70, 30 thousandths, 50 thousandths of an inch thicker. I would never have said it was that thick. The D-21 at the 3rd fret is 970. And this 41 Authentic is 918. And that's a lot. That's 50 thousandths again. The 28 at the 5th fret is 968. The 21 is 1 inch, 08. So that's 70, 50, 40, yeah, 40 thousandths again, you know? And on up the neck. And I was just surprised. I was shocked. Because, you know, normally my hands are pretty good. I can say, oh, yeah, this one's thicker, this one's thinner. I would have said they were about the same if you would have asked me. I would have said this feels a lot like the 21. But it's not. It's a little more comfortable for some reason. The 21 always feels narrow to me. Pick it up and it always feels just a little narrow. I wish it was just a little wider, you know. Anyway, I was surprised to see how comfortable this neck is for me. The second thing I do with the guitar when I pick it up is one of the first things I do just automatically and instinctively is I do that little pinch sort of thing where I'm using a hybrid picking. I'm using my pick and my fingers, and I just want to feel that my fingers fit. 2 1/8 of an inch generally feels just a little cramped to me. When I get to a 2 1/4, I love 2 1/4. 2 3/16, 5/16. I love all those. 2 1/8 always feels a little bit cramped. This one does not. I swear I'm going to have to go check the specs on it, to make sure. I think it's 2 1/8, okay? But it feels very good to where I can do hybrid picking. Comfortable. I don't know. It's weird. Weird. So I'm kind of surprised at this 41 Authentic. And playing it, of course, I kind of expected this anyways, having had a lot of experience with this sort of thing. But I kind of expected to have a tighter, punchier, less full sound than the 37. The 37, there's a reason, there's an effect to moving the X brace up here, and you definitely hear it in the 37. It's a bigger sound. When I had the 39 D18, I compared it to 2 37 D18s, and you have the same thing. You've got a bigger neck, you got a different expression. I compared it to a D18 GE, which has got forward X over here, and I like the sound of the 39 D18 better. I like that punchy, crisper, more focused sort of sound. I like that better, especially in an ensemble. I just couldn't get along with the neck. So I sort of expected to have, confirmation bias, preconceived. But, you listen to it and see what you think. But I think this 41's got a good punchy sound to it. And it's nice, I think I'm going to hang on to it. I think it's on approval right now, but I think I am going to keep it for the shop. As with most of the Authentics that I've seen, the saddle is on the low side. This action is perfect. It's 93 thousandths of an inch. It might even be about 90. It's a pretty nice low, very comfortable action. And the saddle is just a little bit on the low end of where I'd prefer it. It's not bad. I'm probably not going to reset the neck right now. There's a good bite going across here. But I do like to have the top of the low E more. I don't like to have the pins sticking up like this. That kind of gets in, I feel that on my hand, and it makes it harder to do palm damping because the pins are kind of in the way. It's just a very small niggly thing. I wish the saddle was about 15 thousandths of an inch taller. So one of these days I'll reset the neck on this guitar. Otherwise on this one, the other difference is this one's got oval button Waverly tuners. I kind of personally prefer the oval buttons over the scalloped buttons that 37 has. I like them because they're just a little more streamlined and cleaner looking, The scallops got a lot of stuff going. They're more period correct. This guitar is pretty good as far as being period correct. But I like the oval buttons just a little bit better. A lot of times, if I have a choice, I would use the oval button on the replacement rather than the scallops. The other button I really like, just as a side, is the ivory oval buttons. I like the way they look. I like the ivory look with the nut, the binding, and that sort of thing. Aesthetically, I like them a lot, but these are good. So these are the Waverlys. The nut's pretty good. I think it's been worked on. This particular guitar is what I would call a player grade. It's being played, and it's got dings on the back of the neck. It's got some finish wear. The back, it's definitely got belt buckle rash right here, that you can see. It's got the top. It's got some dings on it. Let's see, right over here. Got some definite dings, definite wear mark. The pick guard, I can see where the finish is worn off because it's finished over. And these are all things that you would expect to see in a guitar that's been played. This one's been played. It's been played pretty hard. It's got sweat stains. The saddle is discolored from the player's hand. It had some Ivoroid pins in there, which I didn't think I liked. And I immediately put Authentic Acoustic in there. with the red dots, which I feel are a lot more correct for this guitar. I just aesthetically like that. The pinholes were a little bit wallowed out for some reason, and the pins wobbled in there. So I put tape on the bottom and filled the holes with dust and super glue, fine super glue, and re-reamed and made those holes a little bit tighter, and then I had to re-slot, of course. But basically I tightened up the pins. I like that a little bit better. It's just one of the things that bugs me. This guitar has had a pickup in it at one time, and there's the jack to fill in the hole. And that's a good way to do it. I like these jacks really well. Taylor used to sell these. I don't know who does them now. But they screw in, and they do a great job of filling that hole. And you got a nice sturdy strap button on there. So this guitar is pickup ready. So the overall effect of this is a guitar. This particular individual guitar has been played quite a bit. Consequently, it's also got some finish wear up here on the neck where they moved the capo around. And I know for a fact we used a Kaiser capo because there's a little small indentation on the back of the neck. And the little dents on the back are very characteristic of a Kaiser capo where you clamp it on. And, you know, I can't stand them. I always want a screw-on capo so I can adjust it. Shub, Page, Elliott, high end. I'm a screw-on capo dude, but this was obviously used with a clamp on. Okay. The overall effect of this guitar is it's got a little bit of wear on it, and consequently, I'm going to be more likely to play it because the 37 is still pristine. I've never even taken it out of the house. It's only gone. It lives here in the shop. This one is what I was thinking about taking to Winfield this year. I'm playing it. So, you know, I think it's going to be useful as a shop instrument. And it's interesting. So, the 41, the neck is slim. Feels very much like a D-18V to me. Maybe an HD-28. I think an HD-28 even feels a little bit chunkier to me. It's a slim but comfortable neck with a nice rounded V on it. A nice even taper, which is important to me. I like even taper. And the action is great right now. The action is perfect. The neck relief, you know, these have non-adjustable truss rods, and a lot of people are concerned about that. The neck relief is absolutely perfect right now. It's just this side of flat. If I got my feeler gauges out and measured, I would tell you that's probably 0.004 of an inch. Neck is really nice and straight and flat. Frets are in great shape. Of course, they're standard Martin frets. And on the whole, the 41 is a nice guitar. I'm happy to have one in, and we'll be using it for comparisons as we go along. I'm not sure what it'll be good to compare with. You know, really, the 70s D-28s that I overhaul are closer to this than they are the 37 because of the location of the X bracing. This guitar has a popsicle brace in it too, which I don't plan to take out. I think it would sound a little bit better if I took it out, but I'm going to try to keep it fairly original. And if the next owner wants me to take it out, I'd be happy to take it out. But right now I'm going to leave it in, at least today. So, a D-28. 1941 Authentic. Play a little bit. Hands are a little cold still. 65 in the shop. I'm playing stuff that I don't practice a lot, and what I'm doing here is just looking to see how does the guitar react to me, and am I able to improvise on it and play things that just pop into my head, or can I only play things that I've practiced a lot of times? So, yeah, there's a couple of mistakes in there as I kind of feel my way around the guitar. This is the first time I've really played the thing, so that explains the mistakes and stuff. So I don't know, I'm just feeling around with it. See what it'll do. pretty good. You know, my hands are still a little bit cold, but it reacts good. That's where I like a wider bridge spacing. I can't focus on it. No, that's nice. I like it. I'm surprised. I'm shocked at how comfortable and how reactive it is to play. Huh. I mean, gosh, just think if I played it for a couple of weeks, I might actually know my way around on it. So, all right, I gotta get to work. The Rolling Stones. I went to see the Rolling Stones in Denver Saturday. One of the best shows I have ever seen. And I've seen them before in 1978, but wow.